Film Club.
Sorry for interrupting.
Say hello to the Film Club audience.
Hi.
All right, see you later on.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you very much for joining us on another episode of Film Club. I'm one, your host, Andy Harrison. That was Natalie Plucking. To my right, as always, Danny Dalton.
Sorry for another cheap intro.
2 for 2. People can't leave us alone.
No.
Every single
Far too
week
popular.
in Film Club, we invite you along to watch a film with us. We dive into some of cinema's best before coming back here to talk it out. Andy, what have we been watching this week?
The Lego movie.
The Lego Movie. So, what the hell is the Lego Movie about?
It's a guy called Emmett. He's a Lego man. It's at the University of Lego for the time being. The Lego man, he comes out, he's singing Everything is Awesome. Then, even before that, you find out there's a prophecy where there's a brick and there's a really bad guy called Mr. President, or Mr. Business, sorry, President Business.
President Business.
Emmett comes across the construction worker, finds a girl called Wildstar, fancies her, falls down a hole, gets a brick attached to his back. Turns out it's the prophesized brick.
Yeah, I can't remember what they call it actually.
It's funny. And then and it's about him meeting all the master builders, meeting like kind of God, even though he's not called God. Morgan Freeman, again, Bruce Almighty, Lego movie, God. And then he meets all the master builders. Turns out he's just an idiot. But then he's not an idiot, and it turns out everyone can build, and it's about them taking on President Business. And then it has a really other side of the story, which I'm sure we'll come to. But yeah, it's about Emmett fulfilling the prophecy.
So what did you think about Emmett fulfilling that prophecy?
Well, I thought they fulfilled it rather well.
What do you think of the film?
Yeah, I loved it. Hands down. I was saying to a few people, like, funny enough, I was watching it last night. I had fuck on watching it last night, you know.
Why?
Let me tell you about my fuck on watching it last night, right? So I sat down, projector, stuff like that, you know, there, and I'm thinking, I'll use my phone, Showbox, get it on there, watch it, trying to Chromecast. Chromecast doesn't work because Showbox...
You didn't use Showbox?
Didn't use Showbox, no. I use an app called... not that. Anyway, point is, I tried to get it on. Wouldn't work. Trying all these different methods, trying to do it. Couldn't download from the Wi-Fi because he was fucking on this Halo game playing Mexicans and Italians and this massive brawl. He said, I need the bandwidth tonight. I was like, fair play. I'll let him have that. So I was trying to download the stuff. Anyway.
You know when it's Halo night for Clive.
I know. So what I ended up having to do is I couldn't even download, get the file on my PC. No, the file on my phone to the PC to an SD card. I had to use the SD card I used for the audio, put it into my phone, transfer it onto the SD card to put it into the Blu-ray plate. I had fuck on.
So our audio this week might be mixed with Lego Movie.
Well, yeah, it could be. Point is, I thought it was fantastic. So I just thought I'd let you know about the Mexican night. It was fantastic. And he came in before and he was like, what are you watching? I was like, Lego Movie. He goes, oh, no, I want to watch that. And I was watching it with Lass. And then she was like, oh, yeah, I've always wanted to see this. I haven't seen it. I was like, it's right up your fucking street, right? So we get around and watch it. And I'm saying, like, it's such a good movie because it's not just a movie. I thought it was a movie about Lego, and I thought, you know, it might be a bit shit, not like the Emoji Movie and stuff like that.
But I think everyone has that reaction at first.
It's not. It's not at all. It's just its own kind of thing.
Because I remember when this film was coming out, and everyone had that exact reaction. Was like, I can't believe Lego are making a film. That feels like such a cash in. And even when the trailer hit, I remember people being like, all right, it looks better, but still, it's just a little bit. And the film comes out. And
it was, honestly, to this day, I think it's one of the best animations to come out of like 2010 plus.
Yeah, absolutely. Weird, isn't it? Like it went from this place of people being so against it, throwing so much vitriol at it, and they just did it so well.
And I think part of that reason is because we're getting shit like, is it called Pixels that came out with Adam Sandler?
That was later on.
Yeah, we get, right, fair play. But we get all these kind of movies that are coming out. It's just like, for fuck's sake, not another one, or stop doing this, stop doing that.
I think at the time we'd had Battleships. They tried to make the Battleship board game into a thing.
And you have like all these like kind of minions and stuff from Despicable Me, and it's just like, stop overdoing shit. Just like, or just do it for the sake of it exists.
This definitely came out at a time where people were saying, basically all animation coming from like the big budget AAA titles, those sort of animations were worthless with the exception of Pixar. Like that was
or Walt Disney Animation Company works.
Yeah, like the truth of that is up for debate, but like that was what people were saying. And then this comes along and was like, oh no, here's this tie-in, here's this fully licensed like thing that's linked to a toy, it's linked to a very prominent corporation, but it's great. Yeah. And the thing that jumped out at me straight away, right, is the message of the film. and actually how
I'm glad you mentioned that.
they are very self-deprecating in the way they treat the Lego product. Like they openly mock the idea of instructions, and yet every Lego product comes with instructions.
Is it the end scene when they're all using instructions and he's just like, yeah, do like that,
Yeah.
and he's like, I want all the black bricks and all this.
Yeah, and like again, like
yeah.
they have this like underlying theme of mocking all the tie-ins, all the IP tie-ins and the franchise tie-ins
And it
that
did
Lego
so well.
has.
Yeah,
And they're
I
kind
forgot
of
Star Wars, isn't it?
constantly they're constantly just throwing digs at Lego,
Yeah.
but then also they're loving like and embracing the heritage of why Lego is great and why people love Lego.
And the nostalgia of Lego.
Yeah.
And what better, right? So, yeah, so there's all that parts, you know, like even like the old construction sets where it has, I'm pretty sure it actually references old models that were available and stuff.
We had my favourite, the space guy.
Bennett, what is it, Benny?
Is it Benny?
Spaceship! Yeah.
And the fact he's this old, slightly beaten up minifig, and his helmet's like cracked because all those helmets cracked like that.
Hell, yeah. They were, yeah. So yeah, it's shit like that, and it's fantastic. And even then, to go on about how it's embracing the culture of Lego is probably my favourite scene of the film. Is when they're going through the sea, and the sea, all the stop motion animation of the bricks up and down, up and down. How the hell they did that?
Yep.
Whether it was stop motion, whether it was CGI, except CGI, even then it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I
It
think
genuinely looks like Lego bricks.
probably CGI. So for anyone like coming out of this film, a lot of people had the same question of like, how much this film is Lego and how much this film is CGI. The animators have said in multiple interviews that about 99% of this film is CGI.
Well, I think that's fucking incredible for them to do
and
that.
then occasionally they've taken like models and just integrated those into the CGI.
Oh, really?
They did like a bunch of scans about like to try and get all like, because even the minifigs, the best thing about like the characters is they adhere to what a minifig can do. So like their bodies don't bend.
Was that in the morning when you're stretching, he's going, Ugh.
Yeah, they only bend, and like this is occasionally they get, but they only ever bend like on the joints.
Yeah.
And they only ever do what a minifig can do.
Yeah.
And they've got like, when they do the close-ups, you can see they've got like the hairs and the scratches and like the little smudges on them and stuff. Like they've got wear and tear. It's so much painstaking love was put into like this entire film.
And then you go on to the hidden theme, I won't say it's hidden theme, the underlying theme of the film, which is how you see the human side of Lego. So obviously you're in the Lego world for the majority of the film with Emmett, with Wildstyle and stuff like that. But then you actually see, especially towards the end of the film, but even throughout, you know, the Craggle is just glue. They just don't know how to pronounce it. I was fucking howling when I saw that bit. When it was introduced to Good Cop, Bad Cop, Liam Neeson. And when they wipe his face off with just like whatever it is.
Q-tip. With
Yeah. Oh man, I was fucking laughing. That's what I mean. And it's incorporated like kind of human stuff, non-Lego human stuff into it. And then obviously you got the end part where the whole thing is his kids. Honestly, I was blown away by that. I was watching it last night. She was crying. Because it is quite like, it is a real deep story behind it. It goes so fucking deep. It's a kid's imagination. He wants to play with his dad's stuff. He was told not to. His dad wants it to be perfect. Hence the Kraggles, stick everything down. He's like mixing all this stuff together. Then the whole theme in itself about the master builders that anyone can build, including his son, including potentially his daughter. And it's just like how that comes to life. So as the Lego characters are realising anyone can build, or like that amazing line at the end where you don't have to be the bad guy, which she called. And you know, like all stuff like that. And it's like the kid speaking to his dad. It's like, you know, there's a couple of times he does it. You see Emmett as the kid, and you see the dad portrayed by
Will Ferrell.
Yeah. And you just see this incredible moment, and so touching, and so honestly, mate, when I first watched it, I was like, what the fuck where did that come from?
It's one of the best like ending, or one of the best reveals of any animation
I agree.
ever.
I agree.
And it just blends those two worlds perfectly. And when you start to realize, actually, it didn't just come out of nowhere. They also seeded it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the first time I watched this, I never even picked up on the fact that, you know, when his spaceship, the top of his building comes off.
Yeah.
And it's a stupid little like.
It's just a brick.
It just goes.
Yeah.
And it's a little kid's voice. It goes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, they're seeding the fact that they're about to reveal that he's actually a kid, and then you kind of get that moment where it cuts from a shot of Emmett and what's he called, Mr. Business, President Business. You get a shot of Emmett and President Business, and it changes to a shot of the kid and his dad.
Oh mate, that's the shot. That's the shot. That's the shot.
You suddenly realise why President Business has those stupid shoes.
Yeah.
It's to make him the same height, like same appropriate height.
As the kid, exactly.
And you're like, oh man, all this stuff suddenly starts to
He's
come
like towering
together.
over him just as a dad towers over. Yeah. Honestly. It's spectacular. It's absolutely spectacular. And to watch it now, watch it again. Even I had a little lump in my throat. I was thinking, fucking hell, that's quite deep.
It's great, and like they handle it. So this is directed by two people called Chris Miller and Phil Lord,
Who did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Crouch was also a surprisingly good film.
I liked it. First time I watched it, I really enjoyed it. Try watching it again, and it was a bit too childish for me than the first time, so I stopped watching it.
It's nowhere near this level of the Lego movie.
And
the Lego movie is better.
Well, do you know what else they did?
I can't remember. Go on.
So they did 21 Jump Street.
Yep.
And what people say is potentially one of the few, the rare sequels that's better than the original, 22 Jump Street. Which, have you seen them?
I've seen 21. Wasn't a fan.
Were you not?
No.
Oh, mate, I fucking loved it.
It's just that humour that grates on me.
Okay, yeah, I get that. Yeah.
On a note of them, by the way, do you know what they have just kind of stopped doing?
Go on.
They're the guys who got kicked off the Han Solo film.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
So the rumour is, sorry, tangent, the rumour is that...
How long ago did they get kicked off?
They were trying to do, this is like, I think they basically shot the film and then got kicked off, but then Ron Howard came on and reshot most of the film.
And Ron Howard did...
Oh, Ron Howard did...
I did a film that we did recently, didn't he?
Fuck, yeah, he did one of our Christmas films, didn't he? The Grinch.
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm not keen on it.
But he did something else which you pointed out in that episode, and I can't for the life of me remember. But, well, if you remember something good that Ron Howard's done, because there is something good, do let us know in the comments below. But yes,
yes,
anyway,
so did these guys.
They were kicked off for
Phil
that.
Lord and Christopher Miller.
Which, fair enough. One thing I want to point out, I was just doing a little bit of reading around because of this, and there's something called Brickfilms, which people started doing short films a long time ago, which use Lego as stop motion pieces.
How did it? You mean like professionally, or?
No, just like kids would do it.
Well, they
or
had
like,
the camera, you know. Alex had one.
So this started in like the 80s, I think. The first one to be done was a film called Journey to the Moon. It was these two kids did it. I think it said for their grandparents' anniversary or something like that as a present to them. They did it on Super 8mm film. And actually, they do a little bit of like a nod to this. Some of those moments where like they incorporate, quote, live action, not the actual live action, but like Morgan Freeman's character God dies, and then he comes back in a string as a ghost.
Oh yeah. I was wondering where that was.
So obviously
they
just filmed that, or maybe it's CG, but it looks like it's just filmed. That's the sort of stuff they did in Journey to the Moon. Was like they incorporated some stop motion whenever they could, like when the spaceship's flying around, they just filmed the spaceship on a string. And then more importantly was a film later on, apparently a very influential film in like the brick film world. It's a film called Magic Portal.
Right.
And Magic Portal is about a guy who's making this film about Lego people, and they come to life, and like they interact with him in the real world. He's live action,
which is
the ending of this. And funny enough, when
the kid moving, and Will Ferrell's good. What?
It's weird. When the kid puts Emmett back down the portal, it's called Magic Portal on the side.
Oh shit! What a great fucking nod!
Just
What a
nice
great
little nod to this
well
film.
played. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Like,
because apparently the guy who made Magic Portal ended up working at the production house that did this,
Really?
but not on this film. He left before this.
it's funny. It's funny you should say that. We had the camera and we did stop motion. I remember there's we still have them. We used to do like just videos of ourselves. I remember there's a guy who used to go, "Oh, sorry." I don't know why. It's just one memory I have.
Oh, if only you could get me that video, I could put it down here for everybody.
Nah, it's in his fucking Windows 95 PC upstairs. Yeah, I was amazed. I can't say I know much about the sound. Well, I say know much about the sound. The sound was awesome, but I was just so mesmerised by the film to actually
The sound was really awesome.
So I was going to say I don't know much about the sound, but obviously the song. Tegan and Sarah, who did the tune "Everything Is Awesome."
It just gets in your head.
Yeah, it's perfect. So they're like kind of like a synth pop kind of. I might be wrong with the genre. I do apologise. Kind of a synth poppy kind of duo. Sisters, I believe, and they at one point I listened to them and they're really kind of bouncy, like kind of that really nice, like really kind of like I thought it was like kind of like like maybe a bit like potentially better Owl City and stuff like that, like kind of like style, really kind of happy pop and stuff like that with synths and stuff like that. What better way? What better fucking soundtrack
It
for
sets the tone perfectly. He's getting up on the morning, he's getting ready.
Yeah.
Even when you have a little moment where he realizes he doesn't have any friends, he makes that into a joke. They never stop, and then suddenly he's in the car, he's singing, everyone's singing, the whole building, the building site's singing. It gets the energy levels up.
And what great use of that song.
Film.
What great use of that song. Obviously, it's incorporating the film. What great use of that song is when they actually use it to get out of a trap.
Yeah.
The robots catch him, and he starts singing it, and they get out of it. And I'm like, fucking well played.
I love the robots marching off, being everything.
Which is hilarious because the fucking robots should be like that.
It's so funny. But this film, and a lot of it, I love the little nods to breaking the fourth wall. There's a lot of acknowledgement of film as a structure and mocking some of the film as a structure.
What's that?
But then a lot of that and then the kind of, they're always not literally winking to the camera, but they're winking to the camera a lot of the time. They're kind of making jokes about the fact that they are Lego as well. But all of that suddenly makes sense when you get that end of the film reveal that actually this is a kid's imagination. That totally suddenly makes sense. The fact that the kid would go and grab these Lego pieces and then go grab a bunch of Lego DC characters, and suddenly you got Wonder Woman turning up alongside this construction worker, and I can't believe they managed to get those deals.
Got mixed up and stuff like that.
Yeah,
well, it's Lego, isn't it? So do you not reckon it's because Lego already own those licenses partly to?
There's got to be something in there that they were able to work out.
Political,
but that's crazy.
The Millennium Falcon in it. I forgot he was in it. Star Wars.
Yeah,
and obviously you got Batman, who plays quite a big role in this film. Who's Wild Styles.
Played by Will Arnett.
My God, he's good. So there's a film called Hot Rod done by Lonely Island, and there's a scene where he keeps going, babe, wait, babe, wait, babe, and it's fucking hilarious if you watch it, especially if you know the film and you know the scene I'm on about, so you understand why. So I didn't know in this film they actually refer to each other as babe. So Will Arnett saying babe is fucking funny. She's going, yeah, babe. I was like, oh my God, what blood. So the cast, they did absolutely fantastically. Obviously, you've got Chris Pratt, Emmett, and then you've got, Elizabeth Banks.
Is it Elizabeth Banks?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Elizabeth Banks, who did Wild Style. And obviously Morgan Freeman, who plays, he's not God, it's Vesuvius or whatever.
We're going to call him God. Yeah. And you also got Alison Brie that does the...
Yeah, Alison Brie. I didn't know it was her. And I was like, who does Unikitty? Because I recognised that. Oh, it's Alison Brie.
Yeah.
But she goes angry at the end. That was fucking funny.
And Nick... Oh, is it not Ottoman?
No, Offerman. Yeah, Metal Beard.
Yeah.
I was surprised at that. Well played. That was a good accent to pull on.
I heard his voice and I was like, who is that? I recognise that voice.
Did you not? He was like Ron Swanson, I did not see that. He was fucking funny, Metal Beard. I liked him.
I am just so impressed this didn't become a cash grab. I am so impressed on the entire production process. This never was tailored to sell Lego. Okay, maybe it is, but they let themselves be poked fun at. They let themselves experiment a little bit. They let themselves say some negative things about Lego to marry the positive things.
Yeah, there's so much nostalgia about this film, and then you just realise, for example, again, Alex and Colin, my mate Alex and his dad Colin. Colin would buy Alex loads of Lego just so he could play with himself.
Yeah.
And I remember going around and having fucking boxes and boxes. Obviously not as detailed as Will Ferrell's Lego and the cities, but it was great that this is my Lego, it's not yours.
And that's what a lot of people then feel like when they grow up. It's
I want to buy Lego.
It would be cool to I would love to own a Lego Death Star, Lego Millennium Falcon, full size thing.
Me and James are making one.
And then, but if you do that as an adult, I'm not going to play with it. I'm going to put it somewhere, and then we'll be like, that's fucking cool. We used to go around each other's
house, didn't we, with our Lego Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. By the way, Benny is done by Charlie Day.
Yes, yeah.
I didn't know.
Who also
you
great.
Like Charlie Day.
And Liam Neeson for...
Liam Neeson was fucking funny.
Good Cop, Bad Cop.
Good Cop was so fucking
He's
funny.
really good.
When they put his face on again, it's just this weird mess.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. It's a great film. Honestly, I'd love to watch it.
It has no right being as good as it is, but it is as good as it is. So if you haven't yet, go and watch it. If you are one of those people who are thinking, I don't want to watch Lego film, it sounds cheap and it sounds very kid-friendly and it sounds like a sellout. It's actually not.
Spaceship.
So you can let us know in the comments below what you thought of the Lego movie, or you can hit us up on Twitter, as always. We'll be back once again next week, though, where we are continuing with the Lego films. Andy, what are we watching?
Well, I know my mate Bear Wilthew is a big fan of Batman, so we're going to do the Lego Batman movie because we haven't seen it. Do we want to see it?
Nope. Saw the Lego movie before, but never seen Lego Batman.
So we'll hang out with Babe.
See you guys next week for Lego Batman.
Babe, wait, Babe. Babe.